Namaskaram. The glory of the chapter 6 of the Bhagavad Gita. The story of sage Raikwa. On the bank of the sacred Godavari river lies the beautiful town of Pratishtanapur. It was ruled by a noble king named Janashruti, dearly loved by his people and renowned for his limitless virtues. Every day, King Janashruti performed grand fire sacrifices. Their sacred smoke rose so high that it reached Nandavana, the celestial garden, darkening the leaves of the wish-fulfilling tree, Kalpavriksha, which appeared as if they were bowing in reverence to the king. Owing to his pious deeds, the demigods themselves resided invisibly in Pratishtanapur. His charity flowed freely, like rain-bearing clouds pouring water without discrimination. Because of his righteousness, rain fell at the proper times, crop flourished abundantly, and the fields were untouched by pests. For the welfare of his people, the king constantly arranged for the digging of wells and lakes. Pleased by his virtues, the demigods once descended to bless him in the form of swans, flying together across the sky. Among them was Bhadrashrava, who flew slightly ahead. The other swans called out, "Oh brother, why do you fly ahead? Do you not see below the great king Janashruti?" Hearing this, Bhadrashrava laughed and replied, "Is this king as great as the sage Raikava?" When King Janashruti overheard these words, he immediately descended from the roof of his palace and sat thoughtfully upon his throne. Calling his chariot driver Maha, he ordered him to search for the great sage Raikava. Maha joyfully accepted the task and set out at once. Traveling through many sacred places, Maha eventually reached the land of Kashmir. There, near the temple of Lord Shiva, known as Manikeshwara, he saw the great sage Raikava seated peacefully on a small cart beneath a tree. Recognizing him from the king's description, Maha bowed at his feet and respectfully inquired about his identity and way of life. Raikwa simply replied, "I am fully satisfied. I require nothing." Understanding the depth of the sage's renunciation, Maha returned to Pratishtanapur and reported everything to the king. Hearing this, King Janashruti immediately set out for Kashmir, carrying valuable silks and jewels. Upon reaching Raikwa, the king fell at his feet and offered the gifts with humility. The sage, however, became displeased and said, "O foolish king, take these useless things and leave this place." The king, filled with devotion, begged forgiveness and asked, "O revered sage, how have you attained such supreme renunciation and devotion to the Lord?" Pleased by king's sincere submission, Raikwa replied, "Daily I recite the 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita." Thereafter, King Janashruti heard the 6th chapter from Raikwa and began reciting it daily with faith and devotion. In due course of time, a celestial flower airplane descended and carried the king to Vaikunta. The great sage Raikwa, absorbed in constant recitation of the 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, also attained Vaikunta, where he eternally serves the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. One who regularly recites the 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita will surely attain devotion and service to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. This is no doubt at all. The important truth of this story is, although wealth, power, and ritual sacrifices are noble and valuable, far greater than all of them are purity of mind, renunciation, and a life firmly established in the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Narayana, Narayana.